Learn how you can make over your dated and damaged nightstands. I'll be showing you step by step how to do it with these red stained nightstands. First, we're going to remove some hardware. I am using a drill just to save time and energy. Once all the hardware is removed, I'm going to use my orbital sander with 120 grit sandpaper to scuff sand the entire piece. I mean every surface. We want to do this to make sure that the paint is going to adhere to the surface for a long-lasting finish. And look how that finish has gunked up my sanding disc. Next, I wipe down the entire piece, including the underneath, because there was some spider friends waiting to greet me. And with a damp tack cloth, I do the same on all the surfaces. I then use my handy dandy frog tape to tape off any of the inside surfaces that I do not want to get any paint on with the spray gun. I insert the drawers as I'm going to be painting the piece with the drawers in. I am using my Wagner Flexio 3500 to spray this piece, and I'm going to start with Bullseye 123 primer. It is really important that you prime your piece first. It is going to help block any stains, any bleed throughs from the old stain underneath. Please don't skip this step. As you can see, primer is very thick, so I make my own mixture, adding some water, stirring it up real good. Keep adding more water until I get the right consistency so I know that it'll spray through my gun. So really, you're looking for like a drippy consistency. And here's an example of exactly how I want it to look before I spray. I've got my gun all set up and tested, and as you can see, I am spraying in a horizontal motion back and forth, going past the edge of the piece and overlapping on my back spray. Now I can really see all the imperfections in the piece, so I'm going to go back over every inch of this piece with some wood filler and with a putty knife, and I'm going to fill in all the imperfections, let that dry, and then sand everything down with a hand sander, just by hand, with a like a drywall sander, just to get the entire surface smooth. We don't want to forget those drawer lips that the sprayer can't get, so I just pull out the drawers, use a little brush or sponge, and just touch up those edges. Now on to first coat of paint. I am using Benjamin Moore's cabinet coat in a custom color called Cathedral Taupe, which was actually a color I got from Fusion Mineral Paint. As you can see, this paint is also pretty thick, so I do the same thing I do with my primer, and I add some water, making it the right consistency. Then I begin to spray first coat. I have this in real time, so you can see it doesn't take that long, but it is a slow, steady process to get that perfect coat of paint on there. While I have you here, I wanted to let you know that once this coat of paint dries, I inspect the entire piece to see if it needs any extra patching with wood filler. Whether it does or doesn't, I scuff sand the whole piece down again with the 220 grit sandpaper. It's a more fine grit sandpaper, and what it does is it just ensures that there's no imperfections on the surface from the paint gun, any debris that might have stuck to the piece. And then when you do your final coat of paint after this, you are going to have a professionally factory finish smooth surface. And of course, I forgot to film me sanding the piece down lightly and the final coat of paint, so that's why I am telling you about it now, so you know. So while I let that dry, I am going to work on cleaning up the existing hardware that I'm going to use. So I use Barkeeper's Friend to clean the hardware. I just do it in my kitchen sink. I wear some gloves, and I'm not sure if I'm going to use the existing hardware as is or if I'm going to spray paint it. I'm just going to work really hard on cleaning it up to see if I like the color and if it matches my new paint. So with Barkeeper's Friend, you just dump some on your hardware. I use an old toothbrush just to clean it up. It takes a bit of time, and as you saw, I have some overspray paint already on this hardware because I hadn't protected my piece when I was working in the garage. So it takes me a little bit longer to clean it up. And then as an extra measure, I end up using an SOS pad just to really shine it up nice, just to see if it's going to be the right color I want to use for this piece. Then I just wash it all off with some water. Give it a good clean. Added a little bit more on there. I thought I could do a better job cleaning it up. And here's the final result. Not bad. But when I hold it up to my piece with the new color, I'm not entirely in love with it, I'm not gonna lie. So I decided to spray it with Rust-Oleum in, it's almost like an antique brass kind of finish. So as you see, I just go back and forth, do a couple coats, and this is what it looks like, and I'm very happy. So now I'm all done. I've done my second coat of paint. Everything looks good. I've inspected it visually, and I'm just removing all the painter's tape on the edges. And now I'm going to install the hardware. Pretty much my favorite part because it's just about done. Push it in, and it's done. I love it. Let me know what you guys think of this transformation. And if you have any other questions on any of these steps I explained, because ultimately, I just want to help you DIY your own furniture, keeping it out of the landfill.